Let me ask you a question. Have you ever stood in a room where it's full of people? The noise is deafening and it's full of liveliness, but you feel a chill sensation. You feel a silence that rings just for you. You would feel a million miles away. The feeling lingers, it whispers in your ears. You do not belong here. Have you ever felt this? Like a broken piece that does not belong in the box, perhaps lacking what others have. The existential loneliness that hunts us every day. Although we're more connected than ever, so many of us are still feeling profoundly lonely. We yearn, if only I were more athletic, funnier, different, then I'll fit in. I know this yearning well. My desperation to fit in began in my first year of secondary school. The social rules were a complete mystery to me. During breaks, I'll wander around the school, staring at groups of friends like reading a map that I couldn't understand. I still remembered the heats of embarrassment when I tried to play basketball. I was a stranger to the game. I did not know the rules, techniques, or teamwork. A few minutes on the court felt like hours. The laughs and whispers behind my ears are like barriers of rejection that pushed me out of the circle. My heart sank for being the one who stood out in the wrong time. My interests are met with bafflements, commented with harsh criticizes that made me doubt of who I am. I was in despair. And in that despair, I yearned for acceptance so deeply that bits by bits, I started drafting a blueprint for the perfect version of myself. It was a fragile construction, built on the foundations of things I thought others expected of me. A disinterest in nerdy hobbies, cooler tasting music, and that careless confidence I could never quite mimic. I would come home from school every day, not only tired, but empty. I performed the role of who I thought I should be all day long. I was the actor, director, and critic of my own life. And it was a terrible show. But guess what? I noticed that people started to accept me. But by then, I was too tired, too empty to care. I was prisoned by a cage of my own making. But we can only pretend for so long. And one day, when I was looking at myself through the mirror, I couldn't recognize the person who was staring back at me. And it's at that moment, I felt this spark in my brain, a tiny, quiet spark of rebellion that ignited me. I picked up my shattered, irregular tiles that I once threw away, golf, calligraphy, different musics. I walked into those spaces, not hope to be accepted, but to be finally seen of who I was. But something was different. I was different. I wasn't performing, I was just being. And in that authenticity, I started to gain some small acknowledgements. A compliment on my golf swing, a question about my calligraphy ink. I found belonging in groups of people I never expected in. I found true connections. And then I saw it. I had the realization that the world isn't a puzzle, it's a mosaic. And it reframed my whole struggle. For years, I looked at the crowd of social pictures around me and saw finished puzzles where every piece has its perfect match. I thought I was the only odd piece out. But I was wrong, because I was viewing the world as a puzzle. A puzzle has only a limited number of pieces, and each piece has only one perfect place. If you're not that exact shape, you're rejected and you're wrong. And I'm wrong, because people aren't puzzle pieces. They're tiles that belong in mosaics. A mosaic is completely different. It's composed of thousands of tiny, irregular tiles. They're all in different shapes, colors, and sizes. Independently, they may look somewhat shattered, irregular, or even broken, but together, they create a masterpiece far more than just puzzles. Their beauty is not in the uniformity, but their unique contribution to a grand, beautiful picture through their diversity. A mosaic needs your edges to create its breathtaking whole. Now, we always tell ourselves that sometimes we're too much of this and not enough of that. They're barriers set by nobody but us. But through my years of experiencing the world and socializing with others, I learned that authenticity isn't the barrier to belonging, it's the key. So, if you have ever sanded down your edges just to fit in one another's pictures, if you have ever stood in that one crowded room and felt that chill sensation, I want you to ask yourself, are you trying to force yourself into a puzzle, or are you holding out for a mosaic that needs your unique edges? No one is ever a broken puzzle piece, but a unique, jagged tile. Our tasks isn't to force ourselves into puzzles, but to seek our own mosaics. So, do not surrender your edges to those who don't accept them. Save them for people who will not see them as flaws, but as essential parts of a masterpiece you are building together.